Are Nigerians too patient or too broken to resist? That is the question, and it is not a simple one. Because when people outside Nigeria look in, they often ask the same thing. How can so much suffering continue, and yet the people remain silent? How can fuel prices rise, food prices rise, transport rise, school fees rise, rent rise, insecurity rise, and still the nation does not explode? How can young people graduate into unemployment? How can families work every day and still go hungry? How can citizens bury loved ones killed by terrorists, bandits, kidnappers, and criminal violence and still wake up the next morning to continue as if nothing happened? Is it patience? Is it resilience? Is it endurance? Or is it something darker? Maybe Nigerians are not simply patient. Maybe many have been wounded so deeply, disappointed so often, and crushed for so long that resistance no longer feels possible. Because pain changes people, long suffering changes people, fear changes people. A hungry man does not always protest. Sometimes he becomes quiet, sometimes he becomes tired, sometimes he becomes numb, and that is one of the greatest tragedies in Nigeria today. Not just poverty, not just insecurity, not just corruption, but the slow breaking of the human spirit. A people can suffer for so long that survival becomes their only ambition. Not progress, not justice, not change, just survival. Wake up, find food, manage transport, avoid danger, stretch money, protect your family, sleep, repeat. And when life becomes that hard, resistance begins to look like a luxury because protests need energy, protests need hope, protests need the belief that something can actually change. But what happens when hope has been beaten down too many times? What happens when people have seen promises fail again and again? What happens when every election sounds like rescue but feels like repetition? Then a dangerous thought enters the nation: nothing will ever change. And once people begin to believe that, the system becomes even stronger. That is why bad leadership survives for so long. Not always because the people agree with it, but because many people are exhausted, scattered, afraid, distrustful, traumatized. Some are too poor to resist, some are too hungry to resist, some are too frightened to resist, and some no longer believe resistance will matter. So are Nigerians too patient? Yes, some are patient. Some still believe endurance is wisdom. Some still believe tomorrow will be better. Some still hold on to faith, prayer, and perseverance. But many are not just patient. Many are carrying invisible wounds, wounds of betrayal, wounds of hardship, wounds of watching evil go unpunished, wounds of seeing the innocent suffer while the powerful remain protected. That is not ordinary patience. That is national exhaustion. And yet, even in this brokenness, something still remains. Because Nigerians are not empty people, they are wounded people. And there is a difference. A wounded people can still rise. A tired people can still recover their voice. A broken people can still remember their strength. But that cannot happen through slogans alone. It cannot happen through empty speeches. It cannot happen by pretending everything is fine. It begins when the truth is spoken plainly. Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are tired. Nigerians are carrying more than any people should have to carry. And unless justice, security, opportunity, and honest leadership begin to emerge, the silence of the people may not mean peace, it may only mean pressure. Pressure building quietly, pain gathering weight, anger learning patience. So the question remains, are Nigerians too patient or too broken to resist? Maybe the real answer is this: they have been forced to become both, patient in order to survive, broken because of what survival has cost them. And that is why Nigeria must change, because no nation should keep demanding endurance from people who have already given everything. Let that question sit in the heart. Let it trouble the conscience. Let it provoke reflection, because the silence of a suffering people should never be mistaken for acceptance. Sometimes it is only the sound of pain that has gone too deep for words.